We are back.
We are back.
Debatable episode 4.
Oh boy.
First things first, I want us to give a short moment of silence for Fred Da Godson that just unfortunately passed away from the coronavirus.
That's crazy, man.
If we could just give him a short moment of silence.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, man. That was a really disturbing loss. I immediately wanted to just kind of listen back to some of the classics from him, and again, it's like it does go back to giving these brothers their flowers before they pass. I forgot exactly how the statement goes, but
you gotta give them theirs, man. Like, now he's about to sell records.
Yeah.
And now he's about, unfortunately, now he's about to sell units.
Yeah, it's whack.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
and he could have sold those same units for that talent before he left, like your man Sean Price. Sean Price,
right,
like he was like,
right,
when I hear Fred Da Godson, I feel the same way.
Right.
Just
I
like
agree.
Sean Price, man. I'm like, damn,
right.
man.
And then just now I started going back myself. Cause of course, the most recent thing was that that Funk Flex joint. That joint got hit the 2.7 million views, and that's not from his passing, because he just passed. They just announced it 2 hours ago, so the joint was flush at 2.7 million views. That freestyle was crazy. Then went back, I saw him playing a record for Busta, and Busta was like, "Yo, hold up." He stopped it and repeated it. He said, "You so ahead of your time, you babysitting your mother?" You know what I'm saying? And he was real nonchalant about it, man. Like, yo, that dude, you know what I'm saying? We did get one opportunity to speak with the brother. We discussed booking him.
Spoke to him a few times.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we did. Okay, I think I only spoke to him once.
Okay.
Over the phone.
Yeah.
Personally, I only spoke.
Cynthia had put a song through with her man.
Okay. Oh, really? Back then?
From back then.
Damn.
Yeah, we spoke to him
Okay.
a few times.
Got you. That was a minute ago. But yeah, so but recently, what? 5 months ago, right before Atlanta Hip Hop Day.
Yeah.
September, I spoke with him talking about booking him for a battle.
Right.
We wanted to go ahead and get him and MCee to go at it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we had in mind, right?
Right.
So, shouts out to MCee.
Shouts out.
Yeah, man, it's a sad loss, man. And I even now I'm gonna stop doing that, bro. Like, people that I think is fire, because I just started going back, seeing records with him and Jadakiss, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to see him on the mixtapes and stuff, but I didn't, of course, when he's in front of you, you can't but, you know what I'm saying, you have to recognize the talent. But then, again, when, I never really, kept a nice little file of him on the hard drive of all his bangers, man, downloaded his stuff. I'm gonna definitely make sure, I do that now, man, for the people I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, MCee. You know what I mean? Somebody like MCee, like, now that make me, you know what? I'm gonna go download his stuff. So whoever that is for y'all, whoever that artist is for y'all, support that man. And yo, we gotta stay healthy, man. Like, we gotta be healthy out here, bro. Because this thing right here is really hurting our community because of all these pre-existing health conditions that we got.
Exactly.
I think that I forgot the word for it, but it's this word when it talks about 2 diseases ailing you at one time.
Right.
And that's what's really affecting, our community right now, man. Like, overweight, elders,
diabetes,
listen, man, yeah, man,
high blood pressure,
yeah, man,
alcoholism, extensive smoking,
right?
He was a smoker. He was an avid smoker, and it said, and I've been seeing the what is it called? The commercials or the different PSAs talking about people that's prone to smoking marijuana. Because it's a respiratory disease.
Hey, exactly. I was thinking the same
thing.
thing.
And the fact that it's a respiratory disease, and if you're a heavy smoker, although you're not smoking nicotine, and nicotine leave tar in your lungs, but the marijuana has its own adverse effect.
Facts.
It might not be like nicotine, but it does something because you are inhaling carbon monoxide, and the carbon monoxide that you're inhaling through the smoke form, it has its adverse forces, adverse effects.
Yeah, listen, my grandmother, we took her for a checkup or her and I, we went like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. She hadn't smoked in 25, maybe 30 years. She ain't smoked since the 90s. 29, since like the 80s, I'm sorry. And there's still a hole in her lung from smoking.
Crazy.
They got identified a hole in the lung.
Crazy.
You follow what I'm talking about? From smoking, from that far ago. 30 years ago.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, man, we got to stay healthy, man. Right now, man, they got these chemicals in the air, man. You see that, man? They got half the world. I don't want to over exaggerate, but plenty of countries forcing people to wear these masks now. You follow what I'm talking about? Turkey, of course, there's states in the United States that there's an obligation for you to have your mask on. Liberia, where we are, they want you to have your mask on. After tomorrow, you outside, they want you wearing a mask. So, you know what I mean? Let's get on top of our health, man. Seriously, guys. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Again, rest in peace to Fred Da Godson. And yeah, man. So speaking of bars, man, that we just wanted to review that tag team battle between MCody, Marv Won versus Shotgun Suge and NuJersey Twork. Let me tell you something. That was a body bag. That ain't no debating, right?
Ain't no debate,
right?
But they did their thing. It was a 30. It was definitely a 30,
okay.
But they did their thing. I mean, Marv Won. I enjoyed
He held
it.
up the whole team.
Yeah.
He held it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got to build his confidence up. MCody, man, I mean, you hot, like you there, you on the stage, you good. I think he just need to kind of, and then they hadn't gelled quite well. You follow what I'm talking about? Their gelling wasn't too good because they was, they didn't know who was gonna end the bar. You follow what I'm talking about? They both ending the bar, whereas you can see with Twork and Shotgun, they knew who was gonna end the bar. They gave most of the first 2 rounds, your man Twork, it's like they gave him all the ending punchlines. You follow what I'm talking about? It wasn't until round 3 that really Suge started to shine. But yeah, man, then they had the bad stutter. In round 1, he was like, let's start taking from the top, This all round 1. Y'all set it off. I'm like, yo, man, that was pretty ugly, man. Then what's it called? But NuJersey Twork. Yo, I had to listen to that momentum bar about 5 times to get it. You heard that? You know what I'm saying? Because they was dealing with Motown. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's talking about that whole energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took about 5 times to get that momentum bar, man. What's in your wallet? That Capital One bar? Fire. You heard? Because you already know Suge is already known for that tapping your pockets and all that. So that was crazy. Then round 2, man. MCody, man. You really dropped the ball, man. Talking about time. It was time. You heard?
Right.
Dude was like, yo.
He said, y'all wasn't ready.
Time, what you
he didn't
mean?
mean that. He didn't mean that.
Yeah, man. Come on, bro.
And he didn't have the follow-up. Because after he did his bar, he was supposed to follow right back up. He didn't have a follow-up.
Yeah, man. That was, yeah, man. Round 2, man. Oh, that was bad, bro. That was bad. But that Twork, Shotgun Suge round 2, nuts. That bigger 9. You heard that bigger 9, boy? He's like, when I was in 4th grade, bigger 9. That shit was fire, yo. What's it called? Oh, bro. The Space Jam dunk.
Oh man, the whole
you know what I'm saying? Shotgun.
The whole house shook.
Yo, bro, that joke was crazy. But then round 3, your man, Marv Won, he carried it, bro. He carried it, man. When he went into the trick. That whole trick, and I was waiting because I'm like, yo, y'all from Detroit, so I'm waiting for them to go ahead and get theirs. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, because you already know they're gonna bring the trick stuff when he disrespected Proof.
Right. So
I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, when are they gonna bring this up? So he brings it up round 3. He killed it, man. Marv Won did his thing, man, straight up and down. Shouts out to MCody too. I think just a little bit more gelling, just making sure the memorization is there. Because once the memorization is there, y'all can put your performance on top. It's nothing. but it really starts with memorization, man. But yeah, I liked it, man. I like how they flip what your life like is. You know what I'm saying? The shotgun shook, fat jokes was funny. You know what I mean? I think they had it. That was their best round. Round 3 was their best round, but they came back again, bro. Twerking them, and that's when they really shook, took over. He really took over that round, man. That was it, bro. But yeah, man, you know, fire battle again. Shouts out to Smack. Shouts out to URL. Shouts out to who we think is the winners. You know, I think we both agree, no debating. It's not debatable that your boys Twork, Shotgun Suge took that battle right there, man. Jersey. Yeah, man.
Jersey.
Yeah, man. What's up with that? You see what's going on with the French Montana Young Thug thing?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, I guess Cass has said that before. They've made their personal thoughts of who they think they better in and how much records they thought they sold more than, and I mean, Young Thug speaking out, man. Shoot, man. If that's how you feel, man, let's battle, man. You know what I mean? Put your lyrics where you put your lyrics where your thoughts are.
I think actually it's a good build up for that. You know what I'm saying, for that whole versus thing. Yeah. I think it's a good build up for the verses, and I'm thinking that he might have been wanting to build that up with what's it called, with Kendrick Lamar. But then I think French Montana got more hits than Young Thug. But Young Thug, he got some fire joints, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple joints Young Thug got that's crazy. The hooker, pass me the hooker. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, that they all hook anyway. They really a better battle than who want to hear from. But his whole thing was, of course, the versus style, festival stage style. How they doing on Instagram, Swizz Beats, Timbaland. You play a record, I play a record. You know what I'm saying? The better match is Young Thug and French Montana anyway. Okay. I mean, they both hook guys. They got the nice singing hooks. You know what I'm saying? And I think really that'd be a good one, man. That'd be a good look, man. Shouts out to Swizz and Timbaland, man. Did you get to watch any of the last verses they did, Teddy Riley?
Nah, I didn't, but I heard they had like 500,000.
The second one was crazy.
Views on it. I didn't get a chance to see it though. But the whole versus thing, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. But I'm really stuck in the news right now. I'm really stuck on the United States government, how they operating, the different things that they're doing. You follow what I'm saying? And what country, what state is operating. How much people are dying? Like I didn't catch you.
Build on it. Only thing I want to say is I want to see Havoc, because that's Havoc's talking about. He's trying to get on that versus thing. I'm done with the hip hop recap. You know what I mean? I'm done with that. But go ahead, build on it.
I'm definitely with it.
Build on it.
I'm definitely with it. But like what I'm peeping is. What I'm peeping is a lot. There's lots going on out here in the world, man. It's like, well, shouts out to Eminem. He's 12 years sober. You know what I'm saying? He's been going through his sobriety.
And he just did a big donation. You saw that, right?
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah. His mom's spaghetti. That's part of his bar.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he donated mom's spaghetti to all of the people out there in Detroit,
crazy.
Like that's suffering from coronavirus and stuff
crazy.
like that.
That's crazy.
So yeah, shouts out to Eminem, man.
Yeah, man, for the 12 years sobriety, man, being sober. All right, but then Elon Musk. Let's start with Elon Musk, because this is a world thing. You know what I mean? And the United States has been great in a superpower, and the richest. Like in 2018, they were 20 trillion. And their GDP was 20 trillion. You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, we have to really wrap our minds what makes the United States such a superpower, and us African Americans being within the United States having a spending capacity of $1.4 trillion.
Hegemon.
It's nothing to sneeze at, right? So let's start with Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk got the Starlink. Is a project that intends to put 12,000 satellites into the Earth's orbit, right? Mm-hmm. So they can provide cheap Wi-Fi, right? And then got the whole thing with the 5G,
crazy.
Right? So so cheap Wi-Fi, 12,000 satellites, right? They're built to launch by SpaceX, right? Mm-hmm. And also intend to sell its satellites to the military, the scientific community, explorers. You follow what I'm saying? And the firm, these satellites, right, is going up in batches of 60. Mm-hmm. So like when you look in the sky right now, you actually can see the constellation of these satellites that's up there right now. Right. You're thinking of stars, but it's really a constellation of satellites. That's crazy to me.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because with that being said, you know,
so there's already that many satellites up in there
now.
Right now.
Now. You know what I'm saying? And if you go in different, like, you know, on pages, you'll be able to. You have people that's watching it.
Right.
And you can see it with your naked eye at night. You think it's a star, but it's really a satellite.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Because why? Because then they got a web. He has a web around the planet, right? In order to give us, you know, better Wi-Fi, but at the same time,
it's produced already or it's under production?
It's produced and it's in the sky already.
Right, so they're already running Wi-Fi from it right now.
No, we don't know. You know, they haven't provided the free Wi-Fi, but that's the purpose of it.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? But the whole thing, they have deployed. 362 is in orbit right now. That's what's in orbit right now. 362, right?
Wow.
But the point is, it's done for free. It's done for cheaper Wi-Fi. That's the debate, right? But the switch is for the military and scientific community, right? But then you got this 5G thing that's going on right now, which is totally crazy, right? So you know, but then you have
and they really trying to put it all off on China about 5G with Huawei, but America is also producing 5G too. They just don't want America. They just saying don't use China's 5G, because if you use China's 5G, basically they're gonna spy on you. That's what they was trying to tell the European Union. Shouts out to China Mac. Cause he got a whole thing about that right now. Cause he you know, has Hassan Campbell disrespecting Chinese people, so on and so forth. And matter of fact, he on Vlad right now talking about, like, you know the whole conversation about eating dog and da. We've been having this conversation too, I think, right, on one of the shows.
No, we talked about it.
Yeah, so I mean, but the point is, he brings up the 5G. He brings up 5G, Huawei, and like, look, everybody's pointing at China, but America's producing 5G too.
Yeah, it's a fact. So now, my point for saying all this, right, with this going on, you're going to have a level of what is called civil unrest, right? Because thousands have protested, right, in cars and on foot, and had flooded the Michigan State House, right, with guns. And this is the thing, these guys, when they come out with their guns, and nobody's stopping them. You follow what I'm saying? Right. These are good old boys. You follow what I'm saying? This happened. This happened just a few days ago. You follow what I'm saying? And then you had a what is it called? Anti-lockdown protest that just took place, right? And then there was more guns. And it was you're talking about in North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California.
Wow.
These are all libertarians.
I mean, that's why they're telling you better get these guys back out and get them working. That's what they trying to say right now, bro. But they ain't saying it. But yo, if you don't get these guys out working, it's gonna get ugly now, bro.
These libertarians are coming out in these militia groups. They showing their faces. Wow. These are the dudes that you never really hear about. They're like the spooks in the woods and shit. You just don't hear about these motherfuckers. They're coming out. And they're going to the states. They went to Pennsylvania. They was up there.
Bro, you see these guys making damn motorcycle engines? What you think that guy was? That guy, the video you sent me where the guy made his own motorcycle engine? Bro, it's them people in the woods, bro. They highly capable, highly what's it called? Yeah, when what's it called? Crafty when it comes to like all that. What's that? What that show back in the day? MacGyver. Bro, that MacGyver stuff. They on that, bro. They on that, and they got the technology. They've been in the army. It's not like us, bro. Like young black kids, we don't really aspire to go to the army and stuff like that and get them training, Boy Scout training, all that. But that training was really training people how to survive. These guys' survival skills on the next level, to the point that they can they know mechanics. They know how to build cars from scratch. They know how to build engines. They got guns. They know how to shoot their guns. We just starting to learn how to shoot our guns.
Right. That's a fact.
I think this generation, like maybe the last two generations, really, because I mean the South, I think it's really been the ones that really, because the South, they bout that. They go to the range. They, you know what I'm saying? Up north, niggas ain't, excuse my language, brothers ain't going to the range up north. You follow what I'm talking about? They might be going to the junkyard.
It's a smack battle.
Right.
That's like they know more about the gun and everything else before actually
using
holding it.
Yeah, them guys in the South.
Yeah, right.
They using it.
They know how to kick back.
They using it.
They know how to kick back Phil. You know, I agree. But going back to it, it's like the white nationalism is at an all-time high, bro. And we have to understand this coronavirus is shaking up a lot of white libertarians that's about the Constitution. And right now, it's being said that FEMA has taken over, right, the White House, and really the president is not running the White House, because FEMA has more power than the president's and the Congress, right? Because an executive order was signed in 11 Executive Order 11921. National emergency declaration was signed and put into effect on March 13th, 2020.
Right.
By March 19th, 2020, Trump sat down with FEMA, and FEMA acknowledging the power that's been bestowed upon them from the signing of March 13th.
Right.
Right. So now April 10th of 2020, you know, the president, if you see that the presidential speech to the newscast or what have you, he's talking how he was, everything's in past tense, how he was happy that he have served. It was like, you know, it was an honor serving. Everything was in past tense form. So in the video that I was watching, I was like, okay, you know, why is the president talking in past tense? Well, and then, you know, you find out that it's because that since that signing of the what is it called, the national emergency declaration, right? He basically gave it over to FEMA. That's something that we have to really understand. Now, if you're over there sitting there, you smoking a blunt right now, and you chilling with your people right now, whatever you're doing right now, comprehend the United States, the world that we know it, how you grew up is not going to be the same, bro.
No, it's a wrap.
It's not going to be the same.
Yeah, it's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. Even if you look at what's going on with oil right now, man. Oil is negative. No, I don't think you understand. Oil has dropped to negative $4.47 a barrel. Or what's it called? Yeah, right? The futures or whatever, the future stocks, -4. You know what? Meaning that if the oil companies, because first they had the oil war, right? Right? You saw that OPEC, right? You there? I don't know. You saw the whole oil thing that was going on.
I got a whole build on it.
So they had the oil thing going on between the Middle East, right? That new conglomerate that was created that I was telling you about on the other show. Remember, to make that $1 trillion business out of Saudi Arabia, right? They made that first $1 trillion business, and then they went public with it over there. And then so them and Russia was going at it, right? Price war, right? But then guess what happens? Ain't nobody driving.
Right.
Ain't nobody driving right now.
Right.
Right? Ain't nobody driving. Ain't no flights going out. Right? So now it's a situation where, what was the problem over here in Liberia? Liberia had a gas problem.
Right.
Because what happens when it gets overstocked?
Right.
It what?
It sits.
Evaporates. It don't sit. It disappears.
It disappears.
Right.
That's right.
So now, so now it's negative because they need to go ahead and actually pay buyers to take it off of the shelves.
That's a fact.
That's where they are right now, right? So as the oil prices continue to plunge, right? And I think I got this from Al Jazeera, right? And deeply indebted independent U.S. producers begin to close. The American dream of energy independence is quickly fading away. Because remember, during Obama's time, they started cutting through all of those Native American, indigenous tribal areas to access oil and stuff like that. Then Dakota. Let's talk about Dakota. North Dakota was cracking. All of the white people were like, yo, like go to North Dakota. It's the promised land. They producing their own oil. The jobs is popping over there. Right? Because I guess they got this thing called shale oil. And shale oil is like an unconventional oil produced from some sort of rock fragments. Right? They call it pyrolysis and hydrogenation or thermal dissolution. Either which way, the processes convert the organic matter within the rock, right, which is kerogen, into synthetic oil and gas, right? So this is what was popping off over there, right? But now, shale oil, which allowed the U.S. to become one of the world's largest petroleum producers, averaging nearly 17.9 million barrels per day earlier this year, U.S. petroleum output could fall between 2 million and 3 million barrels per day by the end of 2020, according to the U.S. Energy. So oil prices are negative. Mainly, they're damn near paying people to get rid of it. It's ugly right now, bro. And our country functions off of oil.
Right. That's a fact. I mean, just to piggyback on that bill, right? And it might sound like I'm kind of long-winded, but bear with me, right? When it comes to the United States, right? United States, I mean, everything is down to an exact science, and I'm learning more and more that I'm researching and digging in on diplomacy and the United States and things of that nature. What I'm learning is that the United States is a world superpower when it comes to education. Like they pride themselves based on education. And if you go through all the Ivy Leagues and all the smartest educational schools is in the United States. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to that, right? So that's one, right? The United States have over 800 military bases, right, with a budget of $600 billion for the military, right? Every year. This is every year on the year. They put $600 billion on their military, right? Yeah. All right. Now, it all started with William Seward, Secretary of State, right? Mm-hmm. And he was the one that pushed the mindset of world domination.
Exactly. No, I'm just thinking about as them investing into the military, because as somebody was explaining to us that's in government,
right,
in one of these countries, right? He was telling us that even as they're losing in leadership in other aspects,
right,
they made sure that they continued to invest into their military.
Absolutely.
So he said that what may become a problem is that you got one country that is the world power in economically, right, but then the other country is the world power through brute strength.
No, that's a fact. Because see, because what happened when it took place in 1867, right? Because 1867, you have to imagine this is the 1800s, and their mindset was that, right? So you got from William Seward, right, came William McKinney. And William McKinney was the president, right? And he started the same politics when it came to America take over everything. So right, they started with the war the war with Spain over Cuba, 1898, right? And this was the Spanish-American War. Okay. During this process, America acquired Puerto Rico, Guam,
wow,
the Philippines.
Wow.
2 years later, made annex Hawaii, Wake Island, American Samoa. 2 years later after that, troops was taken over to Panama Canal and the Republic of the Dominican Republic, wow, right? So now by 1918, President Wilson attended the Paris, because right, the World War I is in motion now.
Right.
President Wilson attended the Paris Peace Conference,
right,
and then he set the terms to end the war.
Okay.
This how influential America was,
right,
during this whole world domination thing, right?
Exactly.
So now, after that taking place, President Wilson, he spearheaded the League of Nations,
right?
So the League of Nations was about having all the different nations come at a round table, right? So after that took place, Congress stopped that from happening. Then the United Nations was created in 1945. After the World War II, between the United States and Japan, there was a Bretton Woods Conference. Once the Bretton Woods Conference took place in New Hampshire, 730 delegates came together, right, which became the World Bank and IMF. Right? This when the IMF was, and guess where did it take place? It took place in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Right? Well, that's where the Puritans came through when they first came through.
Right.
They came through there in 1783. You know what I'm saying? On the 1700s, when they came into America, started establishing different land masses. So for them to have this Bretton Woods Conference in New Hampshire is crazy. Plymouth Rock.
Right,
it's crazy.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, now, Bretton Woods Conference was one of its main goals was to create petrodollar. You know what I'm saying? But this was the early 1900s. But Kissinger made it happen through King Faisal by brokering the deal, because it went from $3 a barrel to $12 a barrel,
right? And
the point of the point of the meeting was the only money that King Faisal could accept was American dollars. You know what I'm saying? Which gave birth to OPEC.
Right.
Which is the organization that pumps liquid gold into America, which is what? Oil. Right? After this, NATO came into and it was created to secure America's stronghold in Europe's military power, right? Throughout the world. This is how NATO came into existence, right? Because they wanted to have influence over what's going on in Europe, because Russia was the other opposing superpower. So they put something in the middle right there between America and Russia, which was NATO, right? I'm telling you, these guys is crazy, right? So now, once the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, 100 years after this whole thought process of world domination, right? Once that wall came down, other superpowers, or not other superpowers, but other powers on the planet thought that America would, kind of bring back their troops and do certain things like, chill or whatever the case is.
Right.
George Bush and Clinton said that they had to become America's world peace managers. Right?
Right.
What they did. United States military bases.
This is Woodrow Wilson, you said?
No, George Bush.
Oh, George Bush, okay.
Yeah, senior.
Okay.
And Bill Clinton.
Right.
This is when they're saying that they have to become America has to be the managers of world peace. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what happens after that? The United States military bases, the United States military bases consist of, guess what? Y'all ready? All throughout the United States, 50 bases all throughout the United States. 13 military bases throughout South America. 8 military bases throughout Iceland. 34,000 troops in Germany. 34,000 troops in Italy. 24,000 troops in South Korea. 38,000 troops in Japan. 13 bases in the continent of Africa. They're not playing no game. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is now current right now in 2020.
Right.
And I had to say all this to let y'all know that this is why their GDP was 20 trillion in 2018.
Right.
And we have to understand the ability that we have by having a GDP, not a GDP, but it might as well can be, but the spending
1.2 trillion
of 1.2. It fluctuates from 1.2 trillion to 1.4 trillion.
Right.
You know what I mean? And and the money, the United States value, the dollar's money, the value that they have is based on its sentiment.
Right.
Because it's not backed by gold. You follow what I'm saying? Or any real money. It's backed by its sentiment.
Right.
Meaning, the illusion of Hollywood and what makes America the great, you know what I mean? This illusion, that's what backs the American dollar. They put off the sentiment that their money is the best. So therefore, the world goes over with the same things. But what just happened with the coronavirus, where everything's shutting down, that's the reality. Once everything's shut down, it's a wrap for America.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? It's a wrap.
Right.
It's a wrap. You follow what I'm saying? And then I guess this, the powers that be is like, y'all playing a game. Y'all playing a crazy game right now because, one, your money's not backed by nothing. It's not worth nothing.
Right.
Everything is shut down right now. You're not moving nothing around.
Right.
You're trying to Robert Kawasaki broke down. You're trying to take away the First Amendment right. Which is the freedom of speech.
Right.
And then y'all shaking up this anthill with these libertarians that don't got no problem bringing them guns out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man, that's crazy. I mean, actually, it's like world over right now. But see, America, I mean, they kind of spearheaded diplomacy. Taking it into a whole nother level of diplomacy because, when they got involved, right? They kind of got involved like, look, we really don't gotta get involved because remember at the time, it wasn't no threats to America. Europe, it's always been beef. You follow what I'm talking about? It's always somebody right next to Europe trying to attack England, trying to take over Germany trying to take over England trying to take over Ireland. America didn't have to deal with that. They were so far away. Mm-hmm. You follow what I'm talking about? They never really had to worry about that until World War II.
Right. Until
something hit, the shores of America when finally technology and so on and so forth. And now it became a situation. And obviously during, I guess, that 14-point speech delivery of Woodrow Wilson
Right.
at that peace conference, you know, he was kind of outlining really where everything is at right now. You know what I'm saying? And right now, you know, it's really like almost a new world order thing that's coming in place. Man.
No.
Even when I'm hearing you talk,
George Bush,
it's like I'm
that's
hearing
what he was
about
saying
the
back then.
libertarians. You know what I'm saying? But yo, all over the world, bro, they shutting down Europe. They in Africa, they doing the same thing. So you know, it's really gonna be interesting to see how people are going to react, because see, America has put themselves in a position where everybody kind of carbon copies what they do.
Whatever step they make,
whether it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, so now
but see, Trump is going against this thought process. Trump is saying like, yo, look, yo, Japan, you're gonna have to fend for yourselves. You're not paying us enough to protect y'all. You know, Saudi Arabia, you're gonna have to take care of yourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely saying that.
You know what I mean? He's like because the troops that spread out, it's all American troops, and of course other nations. But you know, other nations is not able to keep up to the pace.
But I don't think he's
America.
Decreasing spending on military though.
They have.
He has.
He has.
Specifically has.
Right. And that's why it's becoming a thing. Like, okay, you're undoing something that's been going on for 100 years. It took 100 years to put this thing in place. But
then he's still over here making threats. Like right now, Iran. He just put out a tweet on Wednesday talking about that he's gonna. You know what he said? I got it somewhere specifically. He said the U.S. president said on Wednesday, saying that he had authorized the U.S. Navy in the region to attack any Iranian fast boats that engaged American military assets. Came with an encounter last week between the two forces in the Gulf. So
before the coronavirus, it was already beef.
Yeah, and right now I'm saying, so I'm really he seemed like he a bully. That's what they calling him. On one degree, because they actually called him a bully. They said basically the leader of Iran, you know what's it called? He's like he promised. He said a crushing response to any American military attacks in the Gulf after United States President Trump threatened to shoot down and destroy Iranian vessels. Right, so he's like, so basically, I guess this is General Hussein Salami. He's saying, I've ordered our naval forces to destroy any American terrorist force, calling them a terrorist force.
Right.
That's crazy. In the Persian Gulf, that threatens security of Iran's military on non-military ships.
I mean, wouldn't that be a rumor of a war?
Oh, definitely rumors of war.
You know what I'm saying?
That ain't no question.
But that's just the day and time that we in.
Yeah, that ain't
no
question.
It talks about there'll be a time of war.
Oh, that ain't no question.
That's a rumor.
I mean, you got the plagues,
right?
I mean, come on, you got the diseases out. I mean, almost everything within what's been talked about in the Book of Revelations is coming into fruition, right? So what the foreign minister, he actually took. I don't know if he took to Twitter and said U.S. forces have no business 7,000 miles away from home, provoking our sailors off our own Persian Gulf shores. Right. He called them a bully.
Right.
No, he literally said that they being bullied right now.
But you have to remember what happened. You have to remember what happened. I'm taking this what you just break down. What took place between Hawaii and Japan. Right. Hawaii is in the middle of the Pacific. Right. Between Japan and the United States. Okay. So in latter part of 1800s, when William McKinney acquired Hawaii, you follow what I'm saying? That became America's interest. So when Pearl Harbor took place, that's what jumped off World War II. So that conversation right there is like a semi-quasi conversation of what took place with Pearl Harbor in Japan. You follow what I'm saying? Because before the coronavirus, what happened? Before the coronavirus, what happened? Your man, they hit your man with a drone. They hit the Iranian military dude with a drone. Right. You follow what I'm saying? And
yeah.
So once they
supposedly hit back an American base. Right. So your man, there was nobody there.
Right. But what happened with all of that was coronavirus came through and kind of that took the mindset off of that right there into something else. So now that you're talking about, now you're talking about beef again, right? This is what got America to where it's at, where they're at. Beef. But beef.
That's my point. Going back to my point, like I'm surprised that he cut military spending. You know what I'm saying? Because the dude, that he initially put in office. I don't know. I think dude might have stepped down now.
Okay.
Dude was named Mad Dog. Remember Mad Dog? What I forgot what his name, Mad Dog?
I do remember.
Something or whatever. You like, yo, he was like Mad Dog, bro. Anybody put had a defense named Mad Dog, you got to kind of be worried about that. You got to be concerned.
In America, they love their dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
love
the
their dogs. I mean, they got a vicious animal. He trying to tell you, like, yo, I just put a vicious animal in office. You heard?
Mankind's best friend.
Yeah, man.
Mankind's best friend is a dog. You know what I'm saying? They put Mad Dog up there as the head of defense. But see, what happens is, man, we're living in a time right now that you guys gotta really pay attention. Whoever's listening, you know what I'm saying, and definitely, you know, hit up our what's our patron?
MCWAR.
MCWAR. Hit our patron. Hit our patron. MCWAR. You know what I'm saying? What's our cash app?
Amir James.
Okay,
$ Amir James.
Okay, $ Amir James. You know what I'm saying? Hit our cash app up. You know, if y'all enjoyed the listen. You follow what I'm saying? But y'all really have to pay attention to what's really going on out here, y'all. Y'all can't be sleeping on what's going on out here right now. I'm telling y'all, like for real. Y'all really have to listen. Pay attention to what's going on. We are living in a new day and time, and y'all able to utilize what we're talking to you guys about as a step and guide to the right place. You know what I'm saying? And then wherever y'all at, whatever inner city y'all in, if y'all in New Jersey, check out All Eyes on Egypt. Wherever you see an All Eyes on Egypt, try to step up in there, man, because that's where the information is really at. You know, shouts out to a lot of our teachers, student teachers of Dr. Malachi Z. York, because a lot of the thought process has been going on since the early 60s, 70s, early 80s, 90s, you know what I'm saying? Dr. York versus the computer, Leviathan 1, Leviathan 2, Leviathan 666, talking about that what we living in right now, straight up and down. This is back in the 90s, early 2000s and stuff like that. You know, Dr. York right now, he's in jail. He will be out sooner than later. You follow what I'm saying? And you know, that's just where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Y'all have to wake up. This is not the time to just be drinking lean and putting yourself in a coma state. This is the time to wake the fuck up. Word up. This is the time to wake up. You have to wake up. Word.
Yeah, man. Mad Dog Matters. I think he stepped down in 2019. But yeah, that's all actual fact, man. We really have to adjust. We have to just adjust, you know, right now. But, you know, again, you know, people, it's not like a dark, gloomy thing, man. It's like, the end of the world, you know what I'm saying, as you know it. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great and dreadful day.
Exactly. So the end of, you know, one world is the beginning of
another.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So as you can see, like even right now, you got a lot of people that's, you know, businesses are affected, right? Some businesses will never come back. But then other businesses are birthing. Birthing, and some are just like, come on, anybody that's got an online business, podcast, people that's on a podcast game. You follow what I'm talking about? These guys are seeing, a lot of them are seeing like a 25 to 50% increase of listenership in this day and time. That's right now. People tapping in, wanting to hear what you got to say, wanting to watch, because they in the house more. Right. You follow what I'm talking about? So, I mean, like, you know, we got to kind of look at it like that, because only thing is constant is change. That's, you know what I'm saying? So, constant, you know, so it's really just about being able to adjust and, you know, and being able to kind of prepare yourself for that change. And that's just by, you know, reinventing yourself. You know, matter of fact, there's a guy named Brian Tracy. He got a book called Reinventing Yourself. Wow. Or Reinvention. Wow. Yeah, you Google it. I think they used to have an audio book online, but it's dope because it just talk about like, yo, how you gotta kind of constantly switch up, you know, learn new information, right? You know, because things are always changing. Matter of fact, it's a even simpler one that I read a long time ago that my mother gave me called "Who Moved the Cheese?" And it was about this you know how, you know, mousetrap, and they kind of move the cheese in one place. You know, to me, the cheese is being moved again. You know, if you look at the cheese as being bread, you know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, shouts out to Scream and what's it, Big Bank with that
yo, shouts out, they doing their thing, man.
Facts,
big Black.
That Big Fact show, Big Fact show is nuts, man. I love it. Yeah. And I was listening to the Money Man interview. And Money Man was like, you know, shouts out to Money Man, of course, you know, Atlanta. Money Man was like, yo, he's like, yo, when water drop in one well, I just go to the next place. So he's like, I ain't concerned. It don't matter to me. Like, even though he's a little bit different, he's a little bit more prepared for this than the average individual. But that's the type of mind state that we got to be kind of going into right now in order to be able to survive, in order to be able to provide. And then, to me, I think that next stage is to thrive. You follow what I'm talking about?
For sure, man.
You know what I mean?
So like the lean and then popping them pills. You guys, y'all ain't gonna make it, bro. Y'all might become a zombie out here, Night of the Living Dead, bro.
My thing is like this, if you young, people go through their little phases, man. It's like, my thing is, when I look at it like, everybody go through their phase. Like, see me, I've been sober for a good minute now. You know what I'm saying? That's no marijuana. That's no alcohol. I don't think I've even had no alcohol in some time. I might have a beer, a stout or whatever, a couple of stouts, but I'm even real light on that. But it's phases people go through in life. And unfortunately, like for us, I think for us it was, weed and cocaine. You follow what I'm talking about? I don't want to say crack because I feel like by the time I was in that time of the 90s, crack was already done. You was just already a crackhead. It wasn't too many people getting addicted to crack at that moment. You know what I'm saying? I think 80s is when it kind of got good people. Good people didn't know what they was doing, didn't know how severe the drug was going to be, and got addicted, and it took them out. Before that, it was heroin. I guess heroin does have its fluctuation where it kind of pops up and down within our community. But right now, it's the lean. You follow what I'm talking about?
Lean, so you're gonna a liquid form of heroin,
right? And you're gonna see people come off of it the same way that you've seen people come off of, the heroin. People come off of the crack. People come off of the so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Because they in an influential stage. Like you seeing rappers. What's the boy Schoolboy Q? I think Schoolboy Q used to take lean. And he actually talked about, I'm thinking we recorded on it. He actually talked about coming off of it. You follow what I'm talking about? And my point is, it's like, it's really just being able to adjust. It go back to what? Change. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to making that shift. So you got to be able to recognize, I got to make certain changes if I want to be able to go ahead and accomplish certain goals, because you're gonna have to have money, because this market right here is a world market, right? We're seeing that even with Afrobeat, right? Afrobeats and stuff like that coming in and all that. Like we seeing that the music game is a world game. You follow what I'm talking about? To participate in the world game, you're gonna have to have some sort of funds, man. You ain't gonna be able to play the world game broke. You follow what I'm talking about? You ain't gonna be able to play the world game drugged up on no drug. To me, you know what I'm saying? Like no drug, weed, none of that. Now you got money already and you taking time and you smoking or whatever, but no, I mean, like my thing is none of those things are gonna really. You gotta be able to take your time and use your time wisely. Even social media is a drug. That's a fact. Hold up, social media is a drug right now. That's a fact. Look, there's a book called Deep Work by Cal Newport, and there's like a whole bunch of information out on focus. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why it's hard to get to actually for this generation, right? I think they being hit more with the social media than with the lean. You follow what I'm talking about? The social media is damaging them more than that, because why? You can't even really focus. Even if you start on anything, if you an author, you start writing a book, you getting ping, bling, bling, DM here, DM there. Before you can't even get through a chapter. If you an MC, you trying to write music, you can't even get through. Your phone is blowing up. It's like the ability to focus, the ability to be able to perform within all of the noise. I think that's going to be a real hard task. And unfortunately, a lot of people in music, they look to drugs to try to tune them in and stuff like that. But, I agree. But now, right, with, people like Russell Simmons, even Money Man. I think Money Man talk about meditating and fasting. Bro, we in a new world, bro. We in a new world. Like this right here, bro. This right here is one of the best times to be alive, bro. That's a fact. Seriously, because when they was talking about meditate, Money Man, bro, this dude is a hood dude, bro. Like he straight from Stone Mountain. This dude talking about meditating and fasting, bro. And you know who? And then I remember, vegan, ain't he? Yeah, and he's a vegan. Shouts out to freedryork.com. Shouts out to Dr. Malachi York. I remember him saying, you actually, with the music you listen to, it influenced you to do so. If you listen to Bob Marley, You follow what I'm talking about? It can make you, it can influence you to want to smoke trees. I mean, come on, most people that listen to Bob Marley smokers, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the lean, but now it's the same thing with people like Money Man coming talking about fast and meditate, and not only talk, but he doing it. So when you feeling his frequencies, that's what you actually receiving. So it's a real interesting time, man. The main thing is being able to adjust, being able to pivot, right? Being able to make those proper changes in order to be able to survive this day and time, really. You know, but and if you're able to do that, yo, you know, even when Denzel was talking, I'm like, yo, this about to be a trillionaire. Elon Musk, he about to be a trillionaire, bro. He already the $40 billion man. He got 40 bill right now. And because right now that's what they was talking about. You know, the conversation of being a trillionaire is what? In space. It's about actually tapping in the rocks out there that got gold and and whatever other metals and stuff. And shit, mining asteroids. Yeah,
mining asteroids. Yeah, the moon and Mars.
So I'm, you know, and I know right now it might seem like it is out of this world, but it might seem like out of grasp and stuff, out of reach, but it really ain't. You know, we got billionaires right now. You know what? Right? We got.
He put 321 rockets in
what's your man named Don Conte? Out of Nigeria, the Nigerian billionaire. I think he got. I think he's in the double-digit billions. You follow what I'm talking about? Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah. So my point, it's a world market. Adjust yourself for the world market. You follow what I'm talking about? You know, definitely stay healthy. Get out there, walk, eat, bare minimum walk every day.
Definitely.
Bare minimum. You follow what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? You know, get your diet right.
Watch what you put in your mouth, man.
Yeah. I mean,
like really watch what you put. And you know what? For myself, you know, I'm coming off of 300 pounds. And coming down off of 300 pounds, I've been literally watching what I put in my mouth. Like, you know, in reference to the food I put into my mouth. Pause. You know, for the pause advocates out there. You know what I mean? Right. But watching the food that I put in my mouth, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm Haitian. You know, my mother and father's from Haiti, so therefore I love rice. I'm addicted to rice. And being in Africa, that's like, you know, that's one of the things that they do. They eat rice. Right. Morning, afternoon. So I'm like I'm with this. I'm literally with the stuff I have. I'm cool. I'm good with it. I don't mind. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna chill off of the rice because I know better. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I have to really monitor what I'm eating. Facts. And in the United States, you're not gonna see here. You gotta literally look for sugar. Right. You literally gotta look for sugar here in Africa, but in the United States, sugar is in everything, everywhere, every corner store, everywhere. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So now, and everything is processed. Everything is processed. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a hard way to go in the United States, but you really gotta look for what you're going to put in your mouth and monitor it, yo, for real. Right, that's a fact. And you know, yeah, because that stuff right there can be worse than some of the drugs. That's a fact. Sugar, you know, which is one of my things. You know, and a lot of these different foods. You know what I'm saying? So any of it that if you allowed to take you out, too much of anything's bad.
If you allowed to take you out, bro, any of that, if you allowed to take you out, you can't discipline yourself enough to be able to actually, you know, balance everything off. I mean, now, you know, everybody, we know we all gotta die, right? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's part of, or some sort of transition takes place being on this planet. But but listen, it's all about well, when you making that transition, how you making that transition. You follow what I'm talking about? So whether if it's a drug or if it's a food, it take you out because of your own self. You follow, or your lack or whatever, you know what I mean? So we gotta really be on top of it right now. And if we be on top of it, we gonna win because this really our time.
No, that's our time. We're gonna win.
Look at what's happening in Africa, man.
We're gonna win.
You know, the economy is finally, you know, moving to a point where it's, you know, about to be one of the world's leading economies.
I mean,
you know what I'm
saying?
The
internet did it, man, because like we're able to be in now time everywhere at the same time with everybody. So one of the main thing that we gotta do here in Africa is focus on education.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And in focusing on education, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be able to get right there with everybody else. The Chinese, America, it doesn't matter, Asia, India, it's focusing on education. And what happens is that we in Africa, especially here in Liberia, from what we're able to see, different, Liberia with Senegal, Gambia, we're able to see that, okay, religion, whatever the religion is, that's the more of the stronghold. Same like any inner city hood. Same thing.
Yeah, like Philly.
Like
Philly is mostly Muslim.
Yeah,
Newark is mostly Muslim.
Or South Carolina, or Georgia,
mostly Christian.
You know
Atlanta,
right.
mostly Christian.
And the education is not really the focus.
And you'll get killed messing with somebody in their religion in those areas. You know what I'm talking about?
Fact.
So you gotta have that same type of respect on the continent too. But the moment I agree, the moment we start really focusing, right, and getting that exchange going back with Africans in the diaspora, which will be us, right? The diaspora,
right.
And we won't have to worry about what they doing. Like with the Lebanese dude just put one of his Nigerian workers up on Facebook for sale, like she was a slave.
Right.
Yeah, that just happened.
Crazy.
And they talked to the point where the what's it called, Nigerian government had to step up and say something from the court system, like, yo, that's human trafficking. That's what they recognize it as.
Right.
Yeah, right now. That's happening right now. And I guess the guy pulled the post down, but the Nigerian government want to see him arrested.
Right.
So, and I think they did. The Lebanese people did arrest the guy, whatever.
Right.
You follow what I'm talking about? But look, this is like how they think about us. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So it's like, right now, Nigeria, look at their population, 200 million people, right? They get into the money, right? They, yes, there's still, situations where they're traveling out, in order to work and stuff like that, but they got so much right there. And if the people from the diaspora begin to engage in business with some of these nations, it will help them actually flourish a whole lot quicker. But they still in a better position they were now economically than they were 20 years ago, and it's still growing in the right direction. And it'll also help avoid situations like what just took place in Haiti.
Right.
In Haiti, they had what's it called? You got this these people that don't care. What's they call the Church of what it was called, the Church of the Bible, the Church of Bible Understanding.
Crazy,
right? They allowed their one of their orphanages burned down. Would it be called an orphanage? I want to make sure I get this correct, right? But one of their locations in Haiti burned and killed 13 children. This happened just on February 13th.
Wow.
Right? So now, you know how they compensating the people? And I guess it wasn't it wasn't an orphanage, because the people's it was a church. It was a church and school, right? And what happened is they talking about giving the people $100 for $50 to $100 per child that died.
Yeah, man.
$150 towards funeral costs. So they telling you the life of a black person in Haiti, or period, an African person, is worth $250. But yet in New York, in one of their antique stores, they selling what's it called? What is this? A painting? $8,500. No, a limestone mantle. $8,500 US.
Right.
One item.
Right.
You follow, and you're a non-profit. You writing off all these different things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And y'all coming talking about spending $250.
But see, that's the disrespect that we don't comprehend. And
it's 13 children. Like my point is, it's not even like it was 100 children, 200 children, to the point where you'd be like, oh, I can't help. You know what I'm saying? Because then, we're going to go bankrupt or you know what I mean? Like, bro, it's 13 children. You know what I mean? Y'all could have did all the same way y'all have resourced for finances to go and do that. What that girl say, 50 cent a cup. They come on television, they take your money. Oh, yeah, 50 cent a day. You know what I mean? Their bank account is flush. Bruh, y'all could have did something.
Bruh, that's the disrespect we don't comprehend.
Right.
Huh? We don't comprehend that disrespect. We're only able to think about that disrespect when the Chinese man kick you out of his store. Like, then we start to kind of put that thought process together when the Chinese man beat you up inside the nail salon. So now you begin to think about the disrespect. You try to your motor skills start to work on the level of disrespect that they have for us. So when you see that going on in Haiti, it's the same thing with the trade, the slave trade. It's the same thing with the police officer comes out, pull his gun, air out, shoot an African American 13, 14 times. You know what I'm saying? Or an African, and then put a billy club in his ass. I mean, his behind. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like these are the things that we don't comprehend. We so enthralled with how the everyday, YOLO, you only live life once. We don't think about how we're being treated, how your fellow man is being treated, how your fellow sister's being treated, how the women are only utilized, looked as a sex object, period. The African American man is only looked as either you're good for jail, like, as a commodity, or you're good for body parts, organs, blood, right? Or you know what I mean? Or hard labor, whatever the case is. But outside of that, we cannot comprehend the disrespect of a young child being dying, and then offer, and the money's like $150 being offered, but at the same time the organization is selling art